Hello and welcome to episode 3 of Wisconsin Gold Rush. We had tried to come here on my second video, but it was flooded all the way up to there. So now that the water level is back down to normal, we can go and test out this gravel bar that I've been itching to do since last year. So the river bottom changes dramatically from step to step. We got large rocks right here. Right next to it, it drops off into smaller stuff. Then it goes up into the bank, which looks like also is river gravel. So I've got 3 spots lined up to take a test pan out of. I'm going to take a test pan from there, from where the boulders are, and from that calm section over there, and we'll see what we get. I won't waste your time with making you watch me sift dirt for 20 minutes, so I'll just show you the results. Well, hey, good news, I got a piece of gold on my second pan. At first I tested a pan out of the boulders there and I didn't really get anything at all, just a lot of pyrite. And out of here I got a lot of garnets and... there. It's right there by my thumb. It's hard to get it to show nice because I don't have my magnifier today. Sorry about that. Well, we'll collect that up and we'll do some more test panning. So I found that speck in that hole. I took a few more scoops out of that spot and that's what I got in the pan now. I'm going to test and see what's in there. Oof! Ouch! This water's so cold, it's like bone-hurting juice. Ow! Well, nothing really out of there. That spot was real loose and fluffy while I was digging out of it, so I don't know what the deal is. Maybe it was a lot of silt. I'm going to move back over this direction and kind of go along here and see what I can find. I took a test sample out of here. And I found one tiny micro. One tiny micro. Where'd he go? Anyone who thinks this big old ice sheet hanging off the edge here is really cool and wants to see me jump on it and break it off, go smash the like button real quick and then I'll go do it. It's like a whole ice cave. Alright, let's see if I can get it to break off in one nice big piece. Damn, that's strong. Woohoo! Yeah! Woo! Back to gold panning. Alright, there by the tip of my thumb is speck number 2 for the day. I found him right over there by the edge of the rushing part of the water. Right on the edge of the gravel bar there. Dug 3 or 4 scoops out of there, classified it and panned it down, and I found that speck. I'll come back to this spot if I need to. But I'm going to go test this outside bend right here. I'm going to take a scoop out of right there and see what we can get. Nothing from there. What I'm going to check is over here. There's some deposits and a little gravel bar back there I'm going to test out. We'll see what we get. So I took about half a bucket right out of there, which is just where the water starts becoming calm. There's where it comes around the corner here. And this would be like the beginning of this real quiet gravel bar that starts under the water right there. I took a few scoops out of that. I ended up getting some good material to pan out. I ended up getting down to some real thick clay. But look, it's loaded with particles. There's so much stuff in here. I'm going to break this clay all apart and pan out what's in that. Hopefully that'll get us something good. And I'll pan out what's in the bucket separate. We'll find out if that's our spot. So there wasn't anything in the regular dirt from that hole, and one tiny micro speck out of the clay that wasn't even really anything. Maybe I'll take some tests from over there on that inside bend. I know there's some large rocks over there, so we'll see what comes out of there. So this is a spot I'm digging right now. It's starting to get later in the day, so hopefully I'll be able to get in a few more pans and show you something good. Well, good news, I got me another nice speck. right by the tip of my thumb. And I got that guy from right over there behind a really large rock that was big and flat. So I moved it a little bit and I started scooping under it. I might test over there a bit more. We'll see what happens. Well, I did a bunch more test scoops out from behind that rock, and I ended up finding another little piece there. It's getting too dark to even film or see what I'm doing really. Even though it looks kind of light, it's getting on near evening and I can barely see if it's shiny or not. So I'm gonna come back tomorrow. Let's see here. Maybe I can do that snappy thing that everybody does. There. May not look like much happened, but I turned the lights back up. And look who appeared. Hi, Mason. This is my son. He's 7. Alright, so fast forward a little bit. I've got the sluice in and ready to go. I decided to dig out of this spot. I know that last year I got several flakes out of digging this little hole here. And I know that these flower roots have some good little specks in there too. So I'm going to be digging that out. I've got my 1/2 inch classifier ready to go. Got a bucket with the 1/8 inch classifier. I'll classify into one, right into the other, and right into the sluice it'll go. I'm going to get digging. Okay, so I've been digging out this whole area here. Made this hole quite a bit bigger. I've been digging into this clump of roots, I guess you'd call it, and down underneath it, where I've hit some lighter gravels and then finally some clay. So now I've taken a sample pan from over here to make sure I'm still in a spot that has gold flakes, and I got a nice one. Let me show you. Looks like we're still on it good. I'm just going to keep on digging out right here. Fill up these buckets, and get it running. Cool beans, here's the setup. Let's start running some dirt. Got the nice 6-foot sluice. Each one of these sections is 15 inches. Got my favorite scoop today. It came with a rice cooker. They shouldn't be packing up. I'm gonna put some rocks there for a little better dam. Alright, I have fixed my velocity issues by moving the sluice down the hill a little bit so the water's flowing a little faster when it hits the entrance. Seems to be running quite nicely. Got nice little streaks of material moving through right there. Got material roiling around. There's bugs out. A bug just landed on my nose. That's spectacular. It was freezing cold a few days ago. Now there's bugs out. I can't believe it. Alright, material is making it into the cells in all the sections here. It's not flushing out. Before it was too fast at the end. These two sections weren't even processing material. And up here was moving too slow to even move anything. Now it seems to be moving along real nice. Clears out nice and quickly. See nice little swirls going in there. Each one of these cells is moving around, if you can see. I'll try and get in there real close without getting my phone wet. That's what they're supposed to be doing. And as it does that, the gold gets caught in the back part of those little cells and settles its way down into that miner's moss. Okay, let's kind of overfeed it for a sec and see what happens. Gets kind of thick right there, but it really roils around in there. This is running real nice. I bet you that carpet will collect some of our gold too. Man, I just love that. If I could build a little cabin right on a sandbar and have this all around me, that's where I would live. My favorite camping trip is to go down the Wisconsin River at the right time of year when it's low enough and all the sandbars are sticking out. You can go camping on any one of them that you want. You can stay like up to 7 days or something like that. So we'll be doing a trip like that. It's mostly sand, but I've always wanted to see if there's gold somewhere along the river, so I think I'll probably take you guys on the next trip I do. I want to say June or July is when it's past the rainy season and the river's done flooding for the year. Hope I'm not feeding this bad boy too fast. I'm sitting here talking and scooping away. We got good movement. Good flow. I don't see the moss all packed up with black sand. Everything's going according to plan. We're not packing up at the end. There's a little pile, but it seems to be rinsing out pretty nice and off on into the creek there. Hi, and today we've brought my son Mason with me today. How old are you, May?
7.
All right, and he's helping me sluice today. Why don't you scoop me some dirt, bud, and I can record it looking all neat. Right in the middle, bud. There you go, yeah. Give me a big scoop. Go a little closer when you put it. Go ahead and do a few more scoops, buddy. Thanks a lot for helping, bud. I love you. Hopefully today's run will yield us more flakes than last time. That one was a little pathetic. I did scoop a lot of dirt. So let's take a look at where we're at so far. Got a lot of black sand kind of building up right there. Got kind of some stuff there and there. Except it's down in the cells and it's still moving around like it should. It's not really compacting or giving me any problems. Things are moving along nicely when I put in a scoop. These sections are moving a little bit faster, but I think they're still doing their job. Nightfall is quickly approaching. I'm going to turn this off, run the rest of these buckets real quick, and we'll take the concentrates from the sluice home and pan them out when we got some nice light and more time. Alright, and here we are back at the unofficial panning station, which is my living room desk. The sluice gave us a few pounds of material to work with. I'll be panning that down and showing you what's inside. Hopefully we'll have more gold in these concentrates than we did in the last video. That was rather pathetic. But those little spring creeks that I was working in were really my only option given the weather and the flooding and the other larger creeks. So I'll show you pan by pan how much gold we're getting. Let's start off by adding a few drops of jet dry to break the surface tension of the water to make sure your little pieces of gold don't float. Really? Gold floating? Let's get to the bottom of this. All right, science time. Grab a couple of markers here. All right, the mass density of water is 1 gram per cubic centimeter. That's where we get our gram from. Gold is 19.3 grams per cubic centimeter. It's quite a bit heavier than water, and that's why it sinks to the bottom so readily. We might wonder why the heck it floats. now and then when the pieces are small enough. Now also for comparison, lead I think is 11.4 grams per cc. I think copper is 9. Nice light aluminum is 2.7. And of course water. Alright, so there's our densities of things. Anyway, I just wrote on my whiteboard with a Sharpie, didn't I? The water molecules are bonded to each other with nice little bonds. This is the top edge of our bubble where the surface tension would be. These molecular bonds are not just going to be open-ended hanging out into the air like that. They're going to be double strong between the water molecules on the edge like that. And that makes it much harder for that bubble of water to break away from its shell, its surface tension, whatever you want to consider it, because they're double bonded like that. Now when you come in and add a surfactant, it goes and makes those all weak and fall apart, makes the water wetter. In fact, it knocks out all of these, makes them less strong, makes your water a lot wetter in a chemical sense. So then when you have a gold particle sitting on the top of the water and the surface tension is supporting it, the surfactant breaks those bonds and lets your gold drop down to the bottom of the pan where it belongs. And now for a little surface tension experiment. I've cleaned off this penny. We've got some fresh Ice Mountain spring water. Let's line this up good. There we go. Now I'm just going to slowly add drips of water to the penny. Look at how it mounds like that. It just keeps on building and building. I'm going to fill up the whole surface here. There. Now the whole surface of the penny is wet. I'm going to keep dripping it slowly until it breaks. I think you'll be quite surprised at how tall it really can get. Let's get it down so we can really see. That's nice. Look at the edges there. They're actually bowing out. Look at how strong that is. At this point, I'm actually kind of amazed myself. How many more do you think it'll take? 3? Oh, 4. There it goes. The surface tension has finally failed, and the weight of the water has overtaken it. I'm going to set the penny up again real quick, and I'll show you something else. There, I've dried up our situation, refilled the penny. Now we're going to take a little bit of jet dry, put it on this toothpick. Not enough to be dripping, just enough to be wet. Now watch what happens the moment I just barely touch this. Bloop. And look at that, there isn't even a puddle sitting on top. It's completely flat. Look at how it's completely covered the penny. Made a nice flat puddle. It spreads out so easily. I'm sure you've all seen the compass trick, right? If you haven't seen the compass trick, it starts with a glass of water. Then you take a regular sewing needle, get the strongest magnet you have, and rub the needle across the magnet. I don't know how many times you need to do it. There, that's probably good. Then lay the needle on a little piece of toilet paper. That seems to work the best. Then carefully set it on top of the water, like that. The paper gets wet and sinks to the bottom, and the needle is sitting on top of the surface tension. Look, it's actually drawn towards the metal in my phone because it's a magnet. It's actually pointing directly north and south. Now I can influence it with this magnet. Whoop. Whoop. And it sank to the bottom. I must have poked the right part of the surface tension, and there it went. Anyway, it would have sank if I would have touched jet dry in there also. Here we go again. Here's our jet dry toothpick. Boom, and down it goes. That's exactly why you put it in your water for gold, because the surface tension is definitely strong enough to hold up pieces of metal. Now that surfactant can be particularly important when you get to the end of a pan and you're doing this. Your gold that might be under there is getting exposed to air and then water. Air, water, air, water, air, water. And that allows it to sit on top of the water if it wants to and float out here into the water, which you then dump off along with that particle. Alright folks, I'm going to start smashing through this bucket of cons, and I'll show you what I get along the way. Right off the bat we got a rather impressive garnet. Great, we've got our first speck right in the middle there next to that rock. Cool, let's keep going. There's one. It's that piece in the middle that ain't moving around. You guys won't believe what I just found. Look at that sweet piece. That has character to it. Look at that. I am thrilled. That's spectacular. Absolutely. I was looking at, there was two other tiny micro pieces in here, and I was like, should I even film those? You can barely see them. And then I came across him. Oh my goodness. I don't know if I can pick it up. I don't think so. It's right there. You can move it around with your finger. I can surely feel it. But I don't think I can pick it up. But still, nicest piece I've ever found in that river. Way to go. Alright. And there's another flake from our third or fourth pan. Or should I say speck. These are very, very tiny. There's one. It's tiny but shiny. There's one more over here somewhere. There you are. Very, very small. Fly poop would laugh at these. There we go, there's another one. And this one. Alright, and the end of that pan revealed us our last speck. I'll do a snuffer dump, and that's where you'll see me next. Alright, and here's the haul for that whole trip. Got that nice sweet piece. We got a lot of little small micro flaky bits. There's some ultra fine small stuff in there too. A lot of good pieces, and then that really nice one that I'm super happy about. Did nice on the garnets too. Not that I'm after them, but I do like to pick them out and take a look at them. Might as well talk about my pay dirt giveaway while I got nice sunlight. Alright, so these are the bags of contents that are going into my bags of pay dirt. let's dump one of them out here and see what we actually get. Alright, there's a lot of good stuff in here actually. We got some pieces of fool's gold. We've got amethyst crystals. We've got ruby corundum. Sapphires. And emeralds. These guys came a little small, but they're the real deal. Peridot. Got natural float copper nuggets from Michigan. Some are big, some are small. We have a piece of turquoise. The meteorites that come in there are these nice dark metallic heavy silver ones. These are the Cielo de Campo meteorites from Argentina, I think. And we get an Indian head penny. Got a Steely. A piece of opal. A Herkimer diamond. Oh yeah, and then I always throw in a Uper light. A couple grams of crystalline silver. And one of these beautiful little packets of placer gold. So all in all, not a bad haul for my next 6 winners here. I'm going to have to make one rule. You got to claim your prize within 30 days of me announcing the winner. Because I'm not going to hang on to it forever and ever if you don't claim it, you know, and then have you call me a year from now, oh, where's my thing? So after a month, if you don't claim it, it gets recycled for somebody else to win. And also, don't forget to leave a comment on today's video for next time's drawing. I just want to say thanks a lot for the 60 people that have subscribed so far. I think that's really cool. I'm aware that this isn't the kind of channel that gets 10 million subs, and I'm doing this just for fun. I don't care if I get to 100 or 1,000 or when that happens. I'm just glad you guys are watching, and I do this for you just because it's fun. And now for today's drawing. We'll copy the link, paste, filter duplicate, include replies. Let's get the comments. 26 unique comments. And who's our lucky winner? Adventure Time Prospecting! Congratulations, dude! Alright. Cool beans. So yeah, James, just email me at wisconsingoldrush@gmail.com and I'll send it to whatever address you'd like. If you guys haven't seen Adventure Time Prospecting on YouTube, go check him out and sub to his channel. He goes to some really beautiful locations to find some gold. Now y'all have a great couple of weeks, and I'll see you on my next video.